What if I told you that four completely different people, separated by decades, different jobs, different bank accounts, different lifestyles, all fell into the exact same financial trap? Not a similar one, the exact same one, just wearing a different disguise each time. One is 67 years old, one is 53, one is 39, and one just turned 24. And by the end of this video, you are going to know which version you are living right now. Because one of these people is probably you. The trap no one sees coming. Here is the thing about this trap. It does not catch careless people. It catches careful people. People who budget, people who think before they spend, people who actually care about their finances. Because the trap is not about bad habits. It is about something much sneakier. At some point in your life, the world around you quietly decided what success was supposed to look like. A certain kind of house, a certain car, a certain lifestyle. And you absorbed it, not from one conversation, not from one moment. It seeped in through your neighbors, your social feed, your family gatherings, the things people praised and admired around you. And when you could finally afford that version of success, you went for it. It felt like progress. It felt earned. It felt right. That feeling, that is the trap. Now let me show you how it plays out, one generation at a time. Richard, age 67. Richard grew up watching his parents rent. They rented their whole lives, and ownership was the dream they never reached. So when Richard landed a stable job in his early 30s and the bank approved his mortgage, he did not hesitate. He bought the biggest home he could qualify for. And honestly, for his generation, that made complete sense. Property values climbed. His home, which he bought for around $85,000 in the mid-80s, is now worth close to $400,000. On paper, Richard looks wealthy. But here is the problem. Almost all of that wealth is locked inside four walls he still lives in. His retirement savings are thin. The pension he expected evaporated when his company downsized in the 90s. He has the house, but he does not have the financial freedom he thought the house would bring. The home was not the mistake. Treating the home as the entire plan, that was the trap. Richard spent decades pouring money into maintaining the symbol of success while leaving the actual engine of his retirement seriously underfunded. Linda, age 53. Linda's trap was quieter. It did not feel like one big decision. It felt like 100 small, completely reasonable ones. Linda did well. She climbed the ladder in her career, hit six figures by 40, and raised two kids in a good neighborhood in the suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina. Every raise she earned, her life got a little bigger to match. A promotion at 34 meant a new car. Crossing into six figures meant a larger house. The kids starting high school meant annual vacations to places like Cancun and Orlando. Each choice made total sense at the time. But her savings rate barely moved. Not because she was reckless, because her spending grew at almost exactly the same pace as her income. The gap between what came in and what went out stayed almost identical, just at a much higher number. At 53, Linda looks financially comfortable, and in some ways she is. But she is roughly 10 years from retirement, and the math is tighter than it should be for someone who has been earning well for over 2 decades. This is what financial experts call lifestyle creep, and it is one of the most common traps that hits this generation hard. Derek, age 39. Now Derek's story needs a little context first. Millennials entered the workforce and got hit by the 2008 financial crisis almost immediately. Jobs disappeared, salaries stalled. Home prices surged just as they were supposed to be buying. Student loans were heavier than any generation before them. That part is real, and it matters. But here is the trap that filled the gap. When the traditional symbols of arrival, the house, the investment account, the retirement fund, felt completely out of reach, spending shifted toward the things that were reachable. Travel, restaurants, concerts, streaming subscriptions, experiences, and an entire cultural movement backed it up. Spend on experiences, not things. Live your life. You cannot take money to the grave. Every brand, every lifestyle blog, every influencer handed millennials a permission slip. Derek spent his late 20s and early 30s collecting memories, and genuinely beautiful ones. But at 39, he has very little invested, no property, and a low-level financial anxiety that he usually handles by booking the next trip. Here is the truth. Experiences are not the trap. The trap was using experiences as a full replacement for building real assets and having a whole generation celebrate that as wisdom. Maya, age 24. And then there is Maya. Maya is fascinating. Gen Z is the most financially informed generation in history. She knows what an index fund is. She talks about compound interest like other people talk about the weather. She has a brokerage account. She puts in $60 a month. She is proud of it, and she absolutely should be. But she is also spending close to $250 a month on products, clothing, and tech, not because she needs them, but because of how they look. The apartment aesthetic, the trending gadgets, the brands that say, "I have arrived," to an online audience. Gen Z's version of the trap is not ignorance, it is performance. They know all the right words around money. But sometimes those words are used to look financially smart rather than actually become financially free. Talking about investing while the real numbers stay small. Posting about wealth building while the spending quietly tells a different story. Maya is not lost, not even close. She is 24, and she is already ahead of where most people are at her age. But the trap is right there, dressed up in good lighting and a curated background. The way out. So, 4 people. 4 different decades. 1 trap. What does escaping actually look like? Because people do escape it in every generation. And when you look at what they did differently, it almost always comes down to one decision. They chose to look less wealthy so they could actually become wealthy. They delayed the costume. They drove the older car a little longer, stayed in the smaller place, skipped the upgrade, and they put the difference somewhere it could grow. It sounds simple, but it runs against every social instinct we have, which is why even smart, financially aware people keep falling into this trap generation after generation. Here is what the escape looks like for each person. For Richard, it would have been funding the retirement account with the same seriousness as funding the mortgage. Do not bet everything on one asset. For Linda, it would have been a simple rule. Every raise, upgrade one thing and save the rest. Let the income grow faster than the lifestyle. For Derek, it would have been 1 big trip a year instead of 4. Take the money saved and put it into a low-cost index fund every single month without overthinking it. For Maya, and she still has every advantage here because time is on her side, it would be making the investing the content, not the aesthetic. Build the actual number faster than you build the appearance of the number. The one rule. Here is the one rule that ties all of this together. Assets first, lifestyle second. Every time, not forever, just until the assets are doing enough of the heavy lifting that the lifestyle is genuinely paid for. That is the move. Richard, Linda, Derek, Maya. None of them are bad with money. None of them made obviously stupid decisions. They all just followed the unwritten rules their generation handed them about what success was supposed to look like. And they spent years looking arrived, before they actually were. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Which version of the trap are you living right now? Is it the house that holds nearly everything you own? Is it the lifestyle that quietly expanded every time your paycheck did? Is it the experiences that felt like living fully but slowly replaced building something lasting? Or is it the performance, knowing the right language around money without the real numbers to back it up? Drop your answer in the comments. No judgment here, because naming it is the first step to changing it. And if this video hit close to home, share it with someone in your life who needs to hear it. They probably already know which category they are in.